There we go. Yes. Health accountability partner check in. Hello. Happy Monday. How's everyone doing today? I know that's a loaded question. I feel like people are probably always asking, "Oh, how you doing today? Oh, how's it been? How's it going?" Sometimes it may seem genuine, sometimes it may not. But really, as a health accountability partner, and potentially your next health accountability partner, or maybe your first health accountability partner, have you ever had a health accountability partner? Has anybody out there ever had a health accountability partner? I never had. My first health accountability partner was Jamari. Well, is, because he still is my health accountability partner. I'm a health accountability partner. I'm a health accountability partner to many people also. You know, I've helped many people learn more about plant-based eating. I've introduced, fiber-rich products to people that help with their gut health. Gut health is like so important, and that's something that's not really talked about as much. Like, so, excuse me. So many people talk about like the protein, like, oh, we need to have protein, but it's like, guys, like, honestly, we have enough protein. We get enough protein from plants. So it's like the marketing and the propaganda is always going towards the protein. But it's like, you don't need that much protein. Like, literally, like, protein drinks are expensive pee. It results in expensive pee because our body doesn't absorb as much protein as, people try to force onto it. You get all of your proteins, all of your essential amino acids, all come from plants and plant foods. So, but this is not about protein or, that. It's kind of just a general health check-in. Like, how's it going? Honestly, I really feel like I'm a little ahead of my time because I think due to COVID, people are a little more in tune with health related things, but I still feel like a lot of people aren't really taking their health seriously because, in my opinion, if you took your health seriously, then a lot of the things that people are doing for pleasure and for fun and to just like, do what's normal in these times, they wouldn't be doing it. Like alcohol is poisonous. It's poisonous, and I know, I've been the one to. I started drinking when I was young. I started drinking in my teens, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't really mean anything because once I learned better, I started to do better. Fortunately for me, when I became pregnant with my daughter, obviously I can't be drinking while you're pregnant. So I stopped drinking alcohol then. And that was like 3 years ago when I stopped drinking alcohol. Actually, it's been over 3 years. Cool. I was pregnant over 3 years ago with her. Over 3 years ago, I stopped drinking alcohol, and I haven't drank any since. And I don't miss it. But honestly, even before that, I wasn't really drinking as much as I once was in my like teens and early 20s. Part of that reason is due to using the herbs that Mother Nature provided for us. Using Mother Nature's herbs. That's part of the reason why, because I was over the drinking, and I was just kind of more so into the natural herbs. But that's neither here or there. Being pregnant helped me remove the drinking out of my life, which was great because that has such a hold on people. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. That's not my place to tell you to stop drinking. I'm just your health accountability partner. So like, if you do want to take your health seriously and you really do want to, because a lot of this comes down to your gut health. It's like, once we are able to improve our gut health and really put the good things into our gut that we need, then a lot of other things will start clearing up for us. Like, Like 70% of our immune system is in our gut. That's first and foremost. So the fact that a lot of those immune system functions are located in the gut, don't you think that should be the first place that you try to work on? And like the gut and the brain are connected, the gut and the heart are connected. Like the brain, the heart, and the gut is like the operation of the body, you know? And like what the gut needs is fiber. That's how the gut is able to create a healthy and diverse community. So basically, just think of your gut as a big community of microbes, like billions of microbes, good bacteria, bad bacteria, a whole bunch of bacteria in your gut, whether it's good or bad, and a whole bunch of microbes. But think of your gut as a huge community of, it's a huge community. So we gotta, in order for the community to thrive, it needs to feed on good stuff. It needs to feed, like the gut only feeds on what we provide it. Like we are literally the masters and the captains of our ship, and what we are putting into our body is what will be reflected. You know, like we are the captains of our ship. In order for our ship to continue to sail in a positive way, we need to continue to give, like it's our responsibility to make sure we're feeding our bodies with the proper nutrients that it needs to thrive. It's our responsibility. In order for us to thrive, we need a functioning gut, and in order for us to have a functioning gut, we need to feed it fiber. You know, so fiber is it's an undigested carbohydrate. Fiber is only found, like dietary fiber, that's what I mean by fiber. Fiber only comes from plants. You know, and when I say plants, I mean beans, like legumes, the whole legume family, which are like beans and peas and lentils, fruits and vegetables, grains, so plants. Then anything that grows naturally is a plant. And fiber only comes from plants. So once we understand that simple concept, then it's like, okay guys, now what can I do to create this healthy environment? I just need to eat more plants. And that's why, like, I'm always promoting the message of eating more plants, because, you know, as a community, we just have to do better. Like, there's so much against us, especially in America. There's so much against us in this country. And it's like, a lot of us, like, if our body isn't functioning properly, we have a lot of like fogginess going on. Like we're not thinking clearly. You know what I mean? We have a lot of extra hormones, especially from like the meat and this dairy. There's a lot of extra hormones and unnecessary animal proteins in our body, and we're just literally just fogging up our body. We're fogging our brain. We're fogging everything. Like it's not clear. Like we're making it very unclear for which way to go. Like in my head, like I really can't trust you if you're not eating a lot of plants, because I already know how your mindset or how your body, like you could be having all the best mindset training ever, but if you're still eating meat and consuming dairy, like at the end of the day, you're still fogging your brain. You're still fogging and cluttering your body with unnecessary stuff. You know what I mean? And like a lot of people my age, they may not be, I'm 30, I'll be 31. A lot of people my age may not even be thinking about this stuff, because, you know, it's just kind of like things that, like, for example, all of this processed foods and calorie-rich diets, that leads to a lot of clogging in your arteries, high cholesterol. Here's my fiber, my vegan fiber. Banana. Cholesterol, like, and all these things. And like the way that we eat in America is crazy, because like by the time, like in childhood, we start the foundations of heart disease. Like we may not see the we may not see the results of the heart disease at that age, but we're starting the foundation of heart disease. So for me, it's like when I was learning all this stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, now it makes a lot of sense why I personally had so many issues. So my issues really came down from, I think, the dairy. Because we're not supposed to be drinking cow's milk. Humans are only supposed to be drinking human milk. Cows drink cow's milk. And the purpose of milk, for one, we shouldn't even be drinking milk past our developmental ages. Like, the milk is only for infants to grow, like babies and infants to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the purpose of milk. The purpose of milk, and that's why, like, you don't get milk from males. Milk only comes from the female cow, the female dog, the woman, the female goat, the female lion, you know, ox. Milk only comes from the female out of the species, not the male. And there's a reason for that. Same reason why only women can have babies. Men can't get pregnant naturally. Women can get pregnant naturally. That's how our body is made. So our body is made to produce this milk, but the milk is used to support the growing child, the growing infant, the growing baby. So babies are really only supposed to be drinking milk for the first few years, the mother's milk, like up to year 3 or so. Like, there's no point in the baby drinking milk past a certain age, because the milk is to support the developing body. So milk is the only thing that, you know, an infant can digest. But as it grows and grows its microbiome, and and the microbiome is like the environment in the gut, as it grows and grows and glows, is how I like to say it, you know, they don't need to be drinking the milk anymore. Now, this whole concept of humans drinking cow's milk is like bizarre and disgusting. Cow's milk is only for cows. You don't see cows drinking human milk. A baby calf, you know, it starts off at like 80 pounds when it's out, and it grows to like over 200 pounds to 600 pounds in its first year. So all of those proteins in the cow's milk is supposed to be for that rapid growth. Humans, we don't grow that fast. You know, maybe we'll get to 20 pounds by our first year if we're eating, you know, if we're eating plants and not making the babies, you know, eat dairy and stuff like that. But humans don't grow that fast. Like, the humans don't grow that rapidly like cows do, and baby calves do. You know, baby calves are meant to grow, you know, over 200, 300, 400 pounds in their first year. Humans grow maybe 20 pounds in their first year, maybe 10 pounds in their first year. You know, it doesn't compare to cows at all. And on top of that, we're depriving the baby from, like, we're basically depriving the baby's brain by giving it cow's milk, because like human milk contains more lactose, which is like the sugar content of the milk, and we need more of that sugar content in a human brain, because a human brain is far more advanced than a cow's brain. Like, we're humans, guys. Human brains are far more advanced than cows' brains. So that lactose, or that sugar content that's in the brain, is what's needed to help the growing infant grow into their childhood. And cow's milk just doesn't contain the same level of the sugars, or even the same type. You know, even the protein, the cow protein, the human protein, like the and I see why the dairy industry was able to kind of start getting away with, you know, making people drink cow's milk to be big and strong. But it's like, Cows don't drink cow's milk to be big and strong. You don't see a cow drinking a cow's milk. You see a cow eating the grass, or like as strong as an ox. An ox is eating the grass. The gorillas are eating the grass. The moose is eating the grass. All these are herbivores. All these herbivores are eating and grazing on the grass and whatever's on the floor, the berries and all that other stuff. So it's like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But that's neither here or there. The point is that we're already in the system. We're already in the system. A lot of this stuff has already been institutionalized. For example, dairy is like mandatory in schools, like in the United States. Dairy is a mandatory item that schools need to have, which is like institutional racism for one, because there are many studies, research, the facts are there that, like, especially for people of color. When I say people of color, I mean African Americans, Latina Americans, Asian Americans, Native Americans, basically anybody other than a white person. Any person of color is extremely lactose intolerant. You know, like all that group of people is at least over 60% are lactose intolerant. And dairy, like, that practice of dairy, compared to how old the modern human is, like the modern human, the Homo sapien, we've been around for about 100,000 years, right? So that's the modern human, the Homo sapien. Now, the practice of dairy and the consumption of dairy came like 6,000 years ago. But before that 94,000 years, that's a lot of years, y'all. Like 94,000 years. People don't even live to be 100 anymore. Like, are you serious? 94,000 years, we were all thriving off of eating plants, because that's what we're supposed to be eating, plants. But you know, throughout time, dairy was introduced to the Homo sapien about 6,000 years ago, and the rest is history. In my head, this has just been a proper, like, this has just been the agenda. Like, dairy was able to be consumed by certain types of people, and those certain people brought it to people that it shouldn't have been consumed by. And modern technology and modern science and modern research has showed that we should not be consuming this stuff. They always promote, you know, dairy for strong bones. Calcium is used for strong bones. There's no real proof that the calcium in dairy, if there even is some, even gives us strong bones. Actually, drinking dairy gives us osteoporosis. So it's like consuming dairy is osteoporosis. And literally, dairy is in so much food products. It's crazy. Like, even on a label, if you read a label, it'll say contains milk, may contain milk. That's dairy. So it's like so much food, processed food, and just food in general is made with dairy. And it's like, even from like a chef standpoint, like, I'm gonna need for a lot of these chefs to, like, you know, really start being a little more health conscious, and, you know, really try to cook these foods without dairy products. Like, that's my, like, you know, that's just what I want out of people. I just want people to start to be more conscious of the dairy that they're consuming,